it's a different world, and it's a world of charades and high jinks, and it's it is very sort of slony pony types. So
Well, Rishi Sunak, he's had a busy old week reshuffling his cabinet, but now he's off for a break. He and his wife, Akshata Murthy, are heading to Balmoral. But the traditional bank holiday weekend between monarch and prime minister will be full of firsts. It's obviously both the guests' first time, but also the hosts too. Will King Charles keep the traditions of his mother or do something different? I'm joined now by Daisy McAndrew, NBC's royal commentator, of course, presenter of The Talk on Talk TV. Morning, Daisy.
good morning, Matt.
What can Rishi Sunak expect, or should he expect the unexpected? Because even knowing what it was that the late Queen used to do is not necessarily going to be the same thing.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think it's fascinating to try to imagine how or if the king will update or change what happens at traditionally at these weekends. So the Queen would always have the Prime Minister and his or her spouse. And that's really important because, of course, you and I know that most of these events that spouses go to, they're shunted off with the other wives and husbands, and they go and look at some soft furnishings or do something that's rather patronising. Balmoral weekend for the PM and his or her spouse is completely different. They are a double act and they're treated as such. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. But of course, the Queen famously and the Duke of Edinburgh would take their guests up to the bothy, the log cabin where they'd have a picnic, where the Queen would do the washing up with her marigolds on, and Philip would do the barbecuing in the drizzle. Everybody be wearing tweed and there'd be lots of wet dogs and lots of muddy welly boots. That's the sort of scene that the Queen liked to have up there. And David Cameron famously said that he jumped up once and insisted on doing the washing up to hear the Queen squawking, "What on earth is the Prime Minister doing?" That was outrageous that he was doing the washing up. So and lots of stories from former Prime Ministers. But I somehow can't really see Charles and Camilla doing the whole barbecue and washing up shtick, but maybe I'm wrong.
And what I suppose is it important because clearly every week the Prime Minister has an audience with the King, and they can be quite formal in sort of discussing the issues of state. So this is a chance for them to sort of get to know each other after what's been, I think they both agree, quite a turbulent 12 months.
Yes, I think they do have that in common, that they've had a big 12 months. Yes, it is. I mean, although bear in mind that the audiences that the Prime Minister and the monarch have, they are formal, but they're not minuted. They're not minuted as such. And they have always said in the past prime ministers that they found those occasions very refreshing because they really can speak their mind and say whatever they wanted to, and they often got very good advice from the Queen. But yes, this is an altogether more sort of jolly affair. I mean, again, we know that Thatcher said it was purgatory. She absolutely loathed those weekends in Balmoral because she said it's a different world, and it's a world of charades and high jinks, and it is very sort of slony pony types. And Cameron said that even though he did love all those country pursuits, which they're offered, so the Prime Minister will have been offered already by now. Would he like to go salmon fishing? Would he like to go grouse shooting? Would he like to go and stalk a deer? Would he like to borrow one of the Highland ponies and go for a ride? I don't know about you, Matt. I can't really see Rishi Sunak saying yes to any of that.
He might get his Prada loafers mucky.